If you're a beginner, there's a very simple yet very effective strategy for swing trading that is going to blow your mind. We are in the Bitcoin USD chart. In the time frame, we select daily time frame. Then, in type of candlestick, we select Heikin-Ashi candles. This strategy is very useful for swing trading, but is not recommended for scalpers or day traders. It is not as effective in the smaller time frames. In this strategy, there are three elements: these two lines, the red line and the green line, and then the yellow crosses. Before we dive into this strategy, remember that if you want to know how to make the most profit out of it, stay until the end of the video. The strategy is the following. Whenever one line crosses the other, we enter the trade. If the green line crosses above the red line, we open a long trade, and if the green line crosses below the red line, we open a short trade. Let's take a look at this cross. We can see clearly that the green line has crossed above the red line and that the trade is a winner. After that, we see another yellow cross. In this case, the green line has crossed below the red line, so we would enter a short position. Now, let's see what happens with the next one. In this case, we would enter a long position because the green line has crossed above the red line. But what happens here is that the next cross in the opposite direction is almost at the same level as the previous one. So our trade would end up in a small loss or break even. And that is something that is repeated in the next few crosses. All will end up in a small loss or break even. But that's only if you establish your exit strategy this way. This method will always end up with a winning trade larger than the previous small losses. But if you stay until the end of the video, I will show you a better exit strategy that maximizes profits even more. Okay, let's look at other places of the chart, doesn't matter where. Here, for example, if you enter in this first cross and exit in the next one, the trade will finish in a small loss. However, the next one will be a huge win that compensates that previous loss. It will be followed by a small win, then a small loss, and then a massive win. Let's go somewhere else. Here we have three crosses that are next to each other, which means that if you follow this strategy, they will all be small losses or break even, but only if you exit in the next cross. You can also see that it becomes a profitable strategy when the volatility appears. Let's go back in the chart. Here we have 4-5 good wins. And before that, 4 crosses that end up in break even. Okay, now let me show you how you have to set this strategy up. It's really simple. Here we have our BTC USD chart naked. Remember that this is a swing strategy and we are going to use it in the daily time frame. You go to indicators up here and you type EMA cross 9. You will use the first option, EMA cross 921 by Sunny Pawar. Click on it and you will see that both green and red line appear as well as these big blue crosses. In order to change the appearance, you go to settings here and change the color of the lines. You will change the red into green like this and the green into red. You can use the colors you want, but we recommend the green to be above the red when the cross is for longs and vice versa for shorts. You increase the opacity until 100% and then go here if you want to change the color and size of the cross. We will choose yellow, opacity 100% and the third option for thickness. Click OK and there you go. Now you can implement the strategy. This is valid for every crypto, stock, bond, forex pair, etc. But if you really want to make the maximum out of this strategy, listen to this way of trading it. Look at this series of crosses. As we explained before, all will be small losses and break-even trades. The next one will be a massive win, but if we exit when the next cross appears, we will not end up with the maximum profit possible. So, what do you do instead? You enter with the cross, but you exit with the first candle of the opposite color. In this case, the first red candle. And then you enter again with the next candle of your color if a cross hasn't showed up yet. Take a look. We are in a long trade, so we exit in the first red candle and re-enter in the first green candle after the red candles. You do this until the next cross appears. You enter here and exit here. Enter here and exit here. And I say exit, not open a short. You will open a short when the next cross appears, but until then, you only entry and exit longs. Simple as that. You see it here also on the way up. And finally, the cross appears, and here is when we open a short and repeat the same process, but with shorts. You enter here, and in this case, you exit in the next candle and wait. You wait for another cross to change to a long position or a red candle for another short position. This way, you maximize your profits even in the cases where several crosses appear next to each other, like here. So that's it. You can check this strategy in the Bitcoin chart or in any other chart to see for yourself how useful is this swing strategy. Remember that this video is only for educational purposes and not financial advice. Always do your own research and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to know more profitable strategies and tutorials. See you on the next video.